Hi there, I hope you're all keeping well. I just wanted to give you an update on what's going on Architect Tomorrow over the next couple of weeks and what we've been doing recently. You may not have spotted, but we recently posted the follow-up video about 5G, which was a follow-up to the Smart Cities IoT and 5G conversation that we had a few weeks ago. So check out that 5G conversation with Ana Fernandez, who's a solution architect in telecoms, if you haven't already, and the previous video to that. Both of those were really good discussions. The next thing as well is we're going to be shortly publishing the keynote that we gave at the ISA Web Summit. So ISA are the global organisation of software architects, and we gave a keynote about the evolution of business as usual, which went down really well. And I'll talk in a minute about what we're going to do next with ISA, because there's an opportunity to get involved there. We've got a number of other interviews as well, I'm pleased to say. We've got Chris Lockhart from Consultant Saying Things. We've got some more from Gunnar Menzel and I, who's the CTIO at Capgemini. What I'm really excited to talk to you about is these upcoming discussions and the one that ties in with the next ISA event. The next ISA event's theme is really exciting. It's architecture for global good. This is something I genuinely feel really passionate about. It's something that kind of burns at the back of me, is the fact that, as architects, we often think about the different considerations of a project or initiative or a platform. But often there are those ethical considerations or those other non-functional considerations that we'd really like to, consider and bring to the table. But I think until fairly recently, those considerations, like how much energy you're using, the sustainability, how wasteful, how is this impacting equality? Is there a kind of hidden bias in algorithms and platforms? Are there things that are driving unwanted outcomes, so kind of poor conduct kind of outcomes, which is something in the financial services industry they think a lot about, but in other industries it's not been so so much what the kind of customer conduct kind of outcomes for a piece of tech or initiative that you're putting in place. So there's an opportunity to get involved in a panel discussion actually about the different considerations that we need to think about as architects across everything from looking at sustainable development goals, thinking about sustainability, energy usage, of course, waste, but also how do we drive equality, how do we drive better societal outcomes with our architectural decisions. The concept of environmental debt is something that Gunnar and I have spoken about in the past, but I think there is also perhaps ethical debt as well. I think there's a whole bunch of categories of other global, impactful, non-functional debt type considerations where perhaps as an organisation or as an ecosystem of companies and organisations, there are things that have been going on that need to be unpicked and readdressed. So that's that one. Look, reach out to me if you're interested in getting involved in a panel. I really would like to see people with different backgrounds, different diverse sort of opinion on the sorts of things that architects need to be bringing to the table on this one. And then the other one is off the back really of the renewed interest in social media and the impact of social media, thinking about the ethics and regulation in technology, which is something I know has been discussed quite a lot. But there was the Netflix show, The Social Dilemma, that I watched recently, and I know a number of other people have been blogging about this as well. And I have a blog in the works on this one. But I'd really like it as well to do a panel talk or perhaps an interview with one or two of you talking about the sorts of considerations for the ethics, particularly of kind of how there's a fine line between usability and addictive tech. So how do we kind of draw that line? How do we make sure that we're not exploiting our users? How do we make sure that we're being fair? It kind of ties in with the architecture for global good, but it zooms in a bit more into the ethics and regulation space. What regulation should there be? Currently, technology is pretty unregulated, both tech, big tech in terms of the industry, but also, technology in terms of the profession as well within other industries. So I think there's lots of angles for discussion and debate on what we should be doing differently, and some great takeaways for folks to think about when they're building systems, and what might be coming from the regulators in this space as well. Certainly there's some interesting developments in the telco regulation space, for example, that I think we're going to start to see over the next few months. So look, if that's of interest, I really welcome people reaching out to me, people that don't necessarily know me now, but are even in the architect profession or in fact non-architects that perhaps just have a different perspective to bring to the conversation. Absolutely really interested to hear from you. So if you're not already part of the community, how can you get involved? Look, you can join the community very easily. Find us on LinkedIn, just search for Architect Tomorrow. We've got a group there. You're very welcome to join that. On YouTube, you can search for Architect Tomorrow. Our channel is /Architect Tomorrow. And so if you're watching this on YouTube right now, please do subscribe to keep tabs on what we're doing. So look, I really hope to hear from you, or at least kind of hopefully you enjoy the content that we've got published and coming soon. And by all means, reach out to me and give me your feedback. Thanks very much.